Godzilla, King of the Monsters. Godzilla is one of the most recognizable symbols of Japanese pop culture worldwide, since first appearing in the 1954 film, Godzilla, King of the Monsters. Since his creation, he has been considered to be a filmographic metaphor for the relationship between the United States and Japan. Let me explain. Originally, Godzilla was a symbol representing the fears and dangers of nuclear weapons that was very present in the Japanese consciousness at the time. The nuclear bombings of Hiroshima and Nagasaki, which killed as many as 250,000 people, many of them civilians, happened only 9 years before his creation. The Lucky Dragon 5 incident, where 23 Japanese crewmen on a fishing boat were exposed to fallout from a nuclear weapons test, happened only months before production began. Note that all 3 of these incidents were caused by the United States, either intentionally, as in the former 2, or by accident, as in the latter. It's no coincidence that the earlier films, in particular the original, portray Godzilla solely as a frightening, nuclear monster rampaging Tokyo and leaving a trail of destruction. Godzilla himself is the mutated byproduct of nuclear testing. His skin texture is inspired by the scars seen on survivors of the bombing of Hiroshima. The film is serious, dramatic, and features many shots really showcasing the impact of Godzilla's destruction. The hero of sorts in the movie, Daisuke Serizawa, resembles J. Robert Oppenheimer, known as the father of the atomic bomb, and later an advocate for international control of nuclear power and non-proliferation of nuclear weapons.
I suppose we all thought that, one way or another.
Serizawa, like Oppenheimer, is fearful that the weapon he created will cause widespread destruction. So, he agrees to help defeat Godzilla with it, but sacrifices himself in the process, so that way the technology will die with him. To drive home the nuclear message of the film, it ends with one of the characters stating that if nuclear weapons testing continues, another Godzilla may rise in the future. Spoiler alert, he does, and has for the last 60 years. This portrayal of Godzilla gradually changes over the course of the next few films. Godzilla shifts from a menace to Japan to a protector of it. The change can be seen as the same as Japan's relationship with the United States. Instead of rampaging cities, he's defending them against other giant monsters, such as King Ghidorah, Baragon, and Gigan. One of the sequels, 1968's Destroy All Monsters, has Japan providing the monster with his own island, where he can live safely, but is close by to protect Japan when needed. This can be interpreted as a metaphor to Okinawa, an island that, when the film was made, was an American-occupied territory, and would remain one for 4 more years. Even to this day, the island possesses a significant American military presence. Just like with Godzilla, the US military presence is a large source of defense for Japan against potential foes. Things had to have changed for Godzilla. Japan was no longer a beaten wartime enemy, but a growing regional and economic power. The United States was not a force to be feared, but a close ally. The films are no longer being made from a position of weakness, but from strength. In fact, the seriousness that the first film had is completely gone in the later films. It even takes on a kid-friendly vibe. He gets a son at one point and becomes a father.